My work allows me to travel for work quite often. So I happen to be in San Antonio, Texas. I believe it's the second biggest city in Texas. I'm in this, or I'm heading into this cool part of the city called the Pearl, or Pearl, and we'll talk about it in a minute. So I'm on the way there. There's some really cool looking buildings around here, like this place here. It's actually really cool. I don't know why. It makes it look like a Middle Eastern palace on the bottom, but it's actually, I think it's just the office building. It is hot. Texas, especially southern Texas, and I think I'm kind of in southern Texas. It's not Houston where it's miserable, but it's not far from Houston, I don't think. It's right now it's about 100 degrees or maybe 99. That's what the car said about 10 minutes ago. At least the humidity is not as bad. I think it's under 30% right now. This is a cute looking building. I have no idea what's in it with the fake grass, but it looks beautiful. There are people with those cows or bulls, whatever they are. I've seen them all over the town here. And here is the brewing company. Do it. So I can feel all stupid with some selfie stick walking around. So there's the brewing company, and here's the story. So apparently, I have learned that there were quite few German immigrants in the area at the end of 19th century or so. They kind of settled around here. In fact, there's an area called King Williams, I believe, which is area with lots of really beautiful mansions. So some of those Germans were living quietly here, and some of them established a brewery here. This is like 1890 or so. I believe in 1894 they opened a brewery here. So, and initially was called something else, then they changed the name to San Antonio Brewing Company, I believe. And eventually they changed the name to Pearl. That was the name of the brewer. Okay, there is a stable hall, which is some kind of like a performing hall, I was told. I've read that actually about it. Those are your performers today, and I don't even know a single person, but what do I know about music? I usually listen to soundtracks. Like that sign, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, where I need to be. I just wish the weather was where I wanted it to be. It seemed to be like a little park here. So in this area around here, there's quite few apartments that I think are probably kind of pricey, but seem to be lots of people walking with dogs. I wouldn't say this is the most pleasant day to go for a walk with a dog. I've been out of the car for about 5 minutes and I am sweating. Regardless, it's a really pretty park here. Modern, but really pretty. In fact, there's some fountain and I see kids playing in it. Table hall, built in 1894, looks like. And apparently they used to keep this horses there because I saw a picture of horses. That's the big chimney for Pearl. God, I'm hot. And let's go see that place now. So here comes the story of this hotel. So back in 1890s they opened the brewery, I think 1894 I think it was, that became later San Antonio Brewing Company, later on converted into Pearl. The owner's name I think was Otto Köhler or something, and this guy died in 1915. So his wife takes over the company. She's the president of the company. Then, apparently in 1920, the prohibition period started. That lasted until 1933. So during those times, most brewing companies went out of business. But Emma, the wife of the former president of the Pearl Brewing Company, she actually wanted to save some jobs. So she started by creating different businesses. They were packaging like some other drinks here. They were even repairing cars, doing a dry cleaning, something like this, because back then during the prohibition, you were not allowed to sell alcohol. So because of that, that company actually survived the entire prohibition period. And I believe somewhere around right before that, it became actually the biggest brewer in the state of Texas. Let me tell you, that's a big state too. So after the war, the lady died eventually. And unfortunately, maybe in 1980s, the Pearl Brewing Company was bought up by a different company and they went out of business in year 2001. Something like 10 years ago, there was some company that bought this property and they converted it into a hotel called Emma's Hotel in honor of her name was Emma Keller. And here comes the hotel. So let's go see if we can get in. Around the hotel, there's lots of cool, old-looking buildings, and so they converted into little restaurants, shops, and things like this. But they left lots of the old charm, like this place, boiler room, and which looks like it's a grill and wine garden right now. Years ago, Germany was building, what were they called? They were called Beetles. That was a German car. And French had their own equivalent. It was a Citroën. That was, I don't remember what kind is it, but those were really famous cars back in probably from 40s, if I could guess, all the way down like 70s. They were very more popular French cars here. And apparently there is a French brasserie restaurant. So they are using this place as a advertisement for this place, brasserie, and they have a cute little old bike. I think it belongs to the restaurant too. It looks really neat. It's actually not dark yet, so it probably even looks cuter here when it gets dark. So there's that hotel, Emma's Hotel. Something smells really good. On the left side here, I think there's a steakhouse. I'm gonna see if I can get into Hotel Emma. So that was one big brewery here. With a fireplace. Okay, that's the hotel inside right now. I love all this old stuff. They've done a really nice job here. I believe this hotel opened maybe 10, 15 years ago. It's my favorite. I love history and I love when people convert the old stuff, preserve the history, the heritage. Check out this door. That is phenomenal. I absolutely love it. Okay. I have no idea what it means, but it says, I believe it says, welcome friends. And then something, you are something. My German knowledge is very limited. there's a restaurant. I'm gonna guess it's a good restaurant if it's Michelin rated. Those are your prices. In a place like this, then you can get a fried chicken for $25. Or you can get a 18-hour steak for 36. Now, what I'm talking about is the shrimp boil for 40. That's what I want to have. Just came out from the hotel. Apparently, according to the guys working in the hotel, the cheapest night in this hotel, it will fetch you about $500, $600 a night. And on the weekends, there are some suites that will charge as much as $8,000 or $9,000. I heard of some live music. Look at that beautiful dog. Hi, beautiful. Hi, sweetie. Hi. Okay, so there's your sign for Pearl Building. And that hotel really is pretty. Anyway, when they opened it up in, again, I think it was like 1894. At that point, that was the tallest or highest building in San Antonio. There's one of those, okay, I'm gonna say bulls, or is it cows? That's how much I know. No, I think it's I see nipples, so I'm gonna go with the cow. Talk to this young kid, and he's asking me what I'm doing, what am I recording, and I said proudly that I started my YouTube channel because I'm going through midlife crisis, and I really enjoy it, recording it so when I'm 90 years old I can sit down and watch it. I do feel stupid sometimes recording it, but why should I care? Like this guy even said, you live once. Oh, what? This is what we see here. Ladies and gentlemen, I see ice cream place, and this is Pullman Market. An interesting thing, Pullman is, I believe, is a company that makes sleeping cars. I think that's what the people used to call them. There's a gym here. So this guy lives somewhere around here, somewhere close by. He says, the places around here are pretty expensive to live here. Let's ask security guard, he will tell us. All right, made another friend. So first I talked to a guy who lives around here. He was actually asking me about my YouTube channel. I think he was gonna go on it and check it out. I said, like, dude, I'm the newbie. I have like 18 or 20 videos. And then I just talked to a police officer sitting in the golf cart, and actually a real police officer. And I was asking him how expensive it is to live around here. And he says it, on the lower end, costs somewhere about $3,000 an hour, which I think it's kind of pricey because people in San Antonio don't make as much money. But I do have to say, I really like this place. We did talk about weather, and he says it's actually not that humid today, even though he was sweating as bad as I am. He was eating ice cream. And he says usually the July and August are horrible. So that looks like it's another apartment building ahead of me. So the places around here is still pretty alive. The lights have come on, people are just hanging out. I was talking to my friend, police officer here, and I said, I don't know how people are just hanging out here. You know, kids are loving it, playing on the fake grass, people are sitting down, drinking wine, kids are playing by the fountain. It sounds cool as long as the temperature was like 65, not when it's 95. But apparently this place was developed somewhere around 20 years ago, maybe 10, 15 years ago. Apparently before that it wasn't so nice. Oh, Pearl, it would be a really cool place to go for a date. Just wish my wife was here. So again, during the prohibition, Emma got the workers to do lots of different things, and one of them apparently was probably a car plant. I know they were car mechanics, so maybe they were working on the cars here in this building. That's the bottling building. Let's check this place with some light on it. We're gonna walk around here, and then we're going to the car. I really like this area, despite the weather. At least I went back to the Pullman market and I got a bottle of water, so I feel a little better now.